Hello, comic lovers! Welcome to the 5th episode of The Boys comic series. In the previous episode, we saw all members of The Boys keeping an eye on the teenage Kicks and collecting photos to blackmail them. On the other hand, we see Homelander angry for the first time, and Starlight is officially welcomed into the Seven. Raynor gives Butcher Compound V, which Butcher injects into Huey. Angry about this, Huey goes back to South Block. Now, moving on. Some scenes from the Boys comic can't be explained in the video series due to YouTube guidelines. If you want to enjoy all the content of the Boys comic series, we've already arranged the correct reading order for you. You can use it to purchase your The Boys comic books today. You'll find the link to the Boys reading order in the video description. So after all this, let's start the video. The first scene is in a park where Annie January, aka Starlight, is sitting on a bench. Not in her superhero costume, but in civilian clothes. Huey comes to this park and asks Annie, "Excuse me, would you mind if I sit here?" Annie replies, "No." After this, both sit quietly for a while, but finally Annie says to Huey, "Your accent is different. Are you English?" To which Huey replies, "No, I'm Scottish." Annie says, "Oh, I'm sorry." To which Huey responds, "There's nothing to be sorry about." But Annie says, "I thought English and Scottish people don't like such comparisons." Huey answers, "It's not like that, just some argumentative people fight over these things." Then Annie asks further, "So, are you here on vacation?" Huey replies, "No, in a way I'm here for a job, but I don't know if I'll take it or not." So Annie asks, "Why, is it not your type of job?" To which Huey replies, "Actually, I think I'd enjoy that job quite a bit, but there are some people because of whom I can't decide. Although I don't have any particular reason to go back either, I also don't want to take this job just for this reason. You understand what I'm trying to say, right?" To which Annie, a bit sadly, says, "Yes, kind of." Annie continues, "I've also done some things to get certain things. I know I'm not happy with what I've done, and about the thing I did all this for, I can't say for sure now if I even want all that or not. But I still can't decide if I should give all this up and go back or not." To this, Huey says, "You've tried doing good, now try doing wrong once." Annie, laughing a little, says, "Yes, that's also a perspective to look at things." Then Huey, looking at the park scenery, says, "Look at this place. If I stay in the city, it would be because of places like this." And as Huey is praising the place, Annie asks him, "What's your name?" And Huey tells his name, to which Annie also introduces herself. After that, Annie says, "Now I have to go. It was nice talking to you." To which Huey says, "Yes, I have to go too. Hope to meet you again at this place." And after this, both Huey and Annie leave the park. On the other side, we hear the voices of all teenage Kicks members who have received compromising photos from the Boys. They're upset, shocked, and arguing with each other about these photos. We then see that this sound is coming from a machine through which the Boys are listening to the live audio of teenage Kicks' location from their office, laughing loudly at their childish fight. While laughing, Butcher says, wait, they haven't gotten the bad news yet." Then we hear that one of the members finds a note from the Boys with the photos, stating that one of them must expose themselves to the media today, or the Boys will expose someone themselves. This starts a fight among the teenage Kicks about who they'll put forward, and the Boys are enjoying their argument when suddenly a voice comes from the gate saying, "Hello." It's Huey, and upon seeing him, Butcher tells Frenchie to turn down the machine's volume. After that, Huey says hello to everyone, and then, looking at Butcher, says, "I thought I'd come back here once." asks Huey why he left, to which Butcher answers instead of Huey, saying he gave him a weekend off to explore the city. Butcher then asks, "So Huey, did you explore the city?" Huey replies, "Yes, and I like the city quite a bit. It seems everything is going well here too." Butcher says, "Yes, absolutely. Thanks to you too for getting all those photos. Did you have lunch?" Huey says no, so Butcher suggests, "There's a great burger shop outside. Let's go eat there." As Butcher and Huey are leaving, Butcher tells "We'll be back in an hour and a half. Let me know when they decide whose sacrifice to make." In the next scene, Butcher and Huey are at this burger shop where Huey is eating a burger. Butcher asks him, "So what did you do these days, Huey? You were exploring the city?" Huey replies, "Yes, and also wandering around with this scary thought of killing myself." Butcher responds, "If that were possible, believe me, I would have done it many years ago. Butcher continues, I'm sorry, Huey. I was foolish. I thought I was helping you, but I just scared you and made you angry. I'm sorry. Huey replies, just tell me before doing something like this next time. Butcher nods and says, yes, absolutely. Then Huey says, so it seems teenage kicks are having a bad time. Butcher responds, forget about them. Tell me, do you like this place or not? Huey answers, this place isn't that bad. It feels weird at first, but then you get used to it. It feels like everything I saw on TV and in movies is coming true. When you first came here, how did you feel? Did you like the Americans? Butcher says, I love this country. Here you'll find many types of donuts and just as many types of fools. Everyone here is scared, trying to save whatever little they've earned. The situation here is 1,000 times worse than in our country, and New York is millions of times ahead of this country. Huey asks, really? Butcher says, yes, friend. I've been here for 20 years. Wait, you'll see. Huey responds, look, I still haven't decided if I'll stay here or not. I came back because I wanted to know about the soups, but I'm sorry, I still haven't decided. Butcher says, yeah, no problem. From now on, no surprises, no lies. I'll tell you everything, and then you decide if you want to stay or not. Just then, MM calls, and Butcher tells Huey, wait a minute, and answers the call with, hello. On the call, MM says, they're putting Shout Out forward. The scene changes, and we're shown a media conference where Teenage Kicks members Big Game, Shout Out, and Popolo are standing. Shout Out goes to the mic and announces to the media, I am a gay superhuman. It's been a very difficult decision for me to tell, and I know that because of me, many people have been hurt, and I want to apologize to them about this. I know that no one will be able to trust me for a long time now. I've thought about this a lot, and I'm leaving Teenage Kicks. I don't think they should be punished for my mistakes. I just want to say that even in such times, they stand in my support. During Shout Out's announcement, the scene changes again, and we go to the Seven's headquarters, where all 7 members are sitting and watching Shout Out's announcement on TV. Homelander tells the others, I understand what's happening here. A-Train and Jack from Jupiter, confused, ask, what do you mean? Homelander explains, I'm not talking about these Teenage Kicks jokers. I'm talking about who's behind all this because, as far as I understand, this is his work. The Deep, a bit worried, says, all this should have been completely over after that incident. Jack from Jupiter also says, no, it can't be him, especially after the Mallory incident. Interrupting him, Homelander says, did you think he would give up? Confused by all this talk, A-Train says, what are you all talking about? I'm sorry, but I don't think I know about this. Did all this happen before I came? Starlight, sitting nearby, also says, excuse me, I just want to say, shouldn't we do something to show our support for Shout Out and Teenage Kicks and let them know we care? Like a prayer or something? Homelander, opening a marker cap, says, oh yes, Starlight. This reminds me, a memo came from Vought about your new costume concept, which will be more photogenic. It will look more and less something like this, you understand? Saying this, Homelander draws lines on Starlight's costume, which Starlight finds quite disgusting. Homelander further tells the other members, this is the same as we're thinking. He's not going to give up, and through Shout Out he sent us a warning, so get ready because this journey isn't going to be easy. Saying this, Homelander leaves, and we're back at the boys' office where the machine is still listening to the live voices of Teenage Kicks. Shout Out is crying while explaining his situation, and the other soups are consoling him, saying it's just a matter of a few months and then he can come back to the team. Suddenly, one of the voices says, did you see this email? Another voice asks, whose email? The first voice replies, I don't know this email address, but the email says they know who did all this to us. With this, we see that no one is sitting in the boys' office, and then the scene changes to a road where the boys' car has broken down. MM and Frenchie are trying to fix it, while Butcher, standing to the side, tells Huey, if you think about it carefully, they had to put Shout Out forward. Huey asks, why? Because he was black. Butcher replies, yes, that's one reason. But besides that, they also had to consider whose departure would cause the least damage to the team. Butcher continues, it couldn't be Popolo, because she's already the only girl in this group of 8. Not Gunpowder either, because the NRA sponsorship would go with him. Jetstreak and Big Game couldn't be it either because they come from very rich families. If either of them got caught, they'd get everyone into legal issues. Whackjob and Blarney couldn't be it because they're close friends of many years. One getting caught means both would sink, and not Dognot because he's Big Game's favorite. Huey asks, "Why not Big Game?" Butcher responds, "Big Game is their boss. He can't get himself caught. Even if he wanted to, the others wouldn't be foolish enough to let their leader take the fall. In teams like this, there's always one person who keeps everyone together." Just then, Butcher notices his dog Terror acting strangely, looking across the road. He repeatedly calls Terror to come, but when Terror doesn't respond, Butcher turns towards him and sees the entire Teenage Kicks team approaching. Big Game steps forward and says to Butcher, "What happened? Didn't expect we'd find you?" Butcher just responds with a, "Heh." Big Game continues, "Did you think you could hide from us? You blackmailed us, you tried to break our team, but you don't have the guts to face us. I don't know who you people are and why you did this to us, but I'm going to end this right here." Butcher, acting scared, puts his hand over his mouth and makes heh sounds. Big Game continues, "We are Teenage Kicks, and after today's beating, you'll never forget our name." At this, Butcher starts laughing, which angers Big Game further. He asks, "What are you laughing at?" After this, Butcher makes a fist with an evil smile and says, "Let's give them a little beating." So this was The Boys Issue 5, Cherry Part 3. If you enjoy the content on my channel, you can also support me on Buy Me a Coffee and Aslo. If you want to read this comic series, you'll find the correct reading order through the link provided in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Thank you for watching, comic lovers. See you in the next video.